I'm just over it. It's and in the Old West, yeah, there was I kind of stomped on Noel at the end there, and I shouldn't have because we were running out of time. He's right. There were some towns in the Old West that allowed open carry, but the really the famous ones: Tombstone, Denver, Santa Fe, Albuquerque. It's a matter of public record. They required people to check their guns with the sheriff's office. And for a long, long time, for large parts of the 19th century. And how do you know the difference? I mean, when the Millers walked into that restaurant last night or over the weekend, where the two police officers were sitting there having pizza, how did anybody looking at them know whether they were just open carry dudes or whether they were right-wing terrorists? And why is it that CNN will not use the phrase terrorist when describing these terrorists? They won't even use the phrase right-wing when describing these right-wing terrorists. We got a serious problem with our media in the United States. We got a serious problem with too many guns in the United States. And we've got an absolutely insane situation where Rachel Maddow pointed this out last night on her program. In the state of Indiana, the NRA sponsored and right-wingers got through the legislature, and Governor Mitch Daniels signed into law a bill saying that if you believe that a police officer represents a threat to you, you may shoot him and kill him before he tries to shoot you. This is extending the Castle Doctrine, extending the stand your ground, shoot first law to police. Only in Indiana so far. In every other state in the Union, you can shoot anybody if you believe that their tea and Skittles represents a threat to you. You can shoot them dead and get away with it, like George Zimmerman did. But only in Indiana can you shoot a police officer if you think that the pizza that they're eating represents a threat to you. And the way the law is written, it only has to be a belief in your mind. It does not have to be an objective reality. You are the arbiter. You are the judge and jury. So if you walk into a restaurant with your AR-14 over your shoulder, and there's a cop in the restaurant, and you see that cop putting his hand on his gun, and you think, oh, he's going to take me out, pull down the AR-14, shoot the guy dead. You can do that now legally in Indiana. This is nuts. We are descending into chaos so that the lobbying arm of a multi-billion-dollar weapons industry, the NRA, the lobbying arm of a multi-billion-dollar weapons industry, can sell more weapons. Got an email this morning with a picture of a bunch of Latino gangbangers with the headline, "More reasons to buy more guns." Right? Illegal immigrants coming in and they're gangbangers. These are just sales pitches. There's a multi-billion-dollar industry here that benefits from all this stuff, and every time there's a shooting, more people buy guns because more people are afraid. And the more guns you have, the more likely you're going to have suicides in the household, the more likely you're going to have a homicide in the household, the more likely you're going to have an accidental death in the household. There's a guy over on Daily Kos who's been maintaining this thing called gun fail. I keep suggesting we should get him on the air. Where the gun fail is like, people who accidentally kill themselves. Every day somebody's accidentally killing themselves because they've got a friggin' gun that there's no need for. This is nuts. We need to start calling this what it is. And as Justice John Paul Stevens suggested, let's amend the Second Amendment to say that because a well-regulated militia is necessary for the security of a free state, and perhaps even a free nation. I mean, keep in mind when James Madison, at the request of Patrick Henry, changed the language of the Second Amendment from a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free nation to of a free state, because Patrick Henry, the largest slaveholder in Virginia, wanted to protect the right of the state of Virginia to have slave patrols, which is what they called the well-regulated militia back then. The militia did dual purpose. That, you know, John Paul Stevens says, well, why don't we just amend the Second Amendment to say, you know, in order to a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of citizens to keep and bear arms when in the militia shall not be abridged, or shall not be abridged when in active duty, or when in the militia. This just makes perfect sense to me. We've had more people killed by open carry terrorists, or I should say open carrying terrorists. Open carrying right-wing terrorists in the United States have killed more people than have Muslim fundamentalists since 9/11. The number's like 34 to 21. And by the way, those numbers were before this last weekend. And we're now up 3 more. We got you know, some kid in Oregon right now. He's apparently dead. Over the weekend, you had this couple who'd been down at the Bundy Ranch. The guy did an interview with the local news station. Said, "Hey, you know, we don't like to be violent with the police, but if they want to be violent with us, we sure can learn how to speak that language of violence." Right. And then you had, you know, a bad guy with a gun who, in Washington State, you know, fortunately had only had 5 bullets in his gun. He stopped to reload. The kid walks up to him, pepper sprays him in the face. They took him down. But had he been able to easily and quickly buy a banana clip, oh,